Hello everyone, it's Christine here. I thought I'd try something a little different for a Facebook Live today. So firstly, I'm tethered via this headset. Hopefully that will remove some of the background noise, and nature is around me, so hopefully the bugs and birds will be good for me. I also live next door to a childcare centre, so if sleep time finishes soon, apologies in advance. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm going to talk to you today. I had a request the other day for learning more about how I apply things in my family. What do I do to help implement parts of the root cause protocol? So just briefly, a little background. Now, if you're coming on to this Facebook Live, please say hello. I love to hear from people. Let me know where you're coming in from. I love to hear the diversity and locations. Now, I'm Christine Kershaw. I am the Director of Supporting Balance, the page that you're watching this from. I work with people in an area called the Root Cause Protocol, and the foundation of it is using whole food solutions to reduce inflammation in the body and to get our body back into balance. Most of us are out of balance in some way, and that leads to symptoms. I also often talk a lot about what stress does inside the body, and often we'll talk about things that add to the stress of the body. So the Root Cause Protocol, as mentioned, is all about finding ways to get core nutrients into your body to help you work more optimally. I mentioned earlier that I live next door to a daycare centre. It seems like sleep time is just finished. I've just finished a consult, so it is what it is. All right, so one of the really important things that I encourage my clients to do is to look at a thing called mineral drops. And the product that I use is called Amena's Daily Boost. Now, you can get different versions of this in other countries, so if you're not in Australia, please let me know and I can give you an appropriate name for the product that you need. But basically, this is seawater from the Great Southern Ocean, and it's purified to have less sodium in it because seawater is very sodium dense. But these drops are a fantastic way to bring balance back to our body as a whole. What many of us don't realise is that our blood is akin to seawater. So Morley Robbins is the creator of the Root Cause Protocol and the research behind it, and he and I work together. We did a webinar last week on this topic, so if you would like a link to the replay for that, I can make sure that I put it into the comments. Just let me know if that's something that would interest you. And we talked about this, about how products like this are similar, especially when diluted. You don't want to drink it straight. Very similar to the blood dynamics. So you've got some potassium, you've got magnesium, you've got sodium and trace elements, and these are really important to help the body to do its thing. Most of us don't get enough of these trace components in our body from our drinking water. Normally we would get them naturally occurring in spring water and that sort of thing if we were using, or even wells before they were a bit more corrupted than what they are now. So this is a fantastic way to get some extra goodies back into your body. It often helps with better sleep. It will help with many people who get migraines or headaches, food intolerances, have histamine problems. To be quite honest, it's a general helper for most inflammation conditions. And because it's a liquid, you can go really slowly. So if you're an adult, you might only want to start at 5 drops per day mixed in. I have a big water bottle, which I've managed to forget to bring to do this, but imagine a 1 litre water bottle and I could put it in that. Or you could do maybe even half the mil to begin with. Get a syringe, one of the reusable syringes. We had old ones from when our kids were little Nurofen ones. And just a little bit. More is not always better. So if you can just use a little bit each day, do that for a week. That's it. Don't introduce anything else different. Just keep things as stable as you can in your routine. And then if you don't want to change anything else, that's fine. Just increase it a little bit in the second week. And then eventually the recommended amount for adults is 5 mils, which is 1 teaspoon every day. And then see how you go. Hubby and I, if like on the weekend, we were both out in the yard, out in the heat for quite a lot of the day, especially on Saturday. So we each had more like 6 mils per day. But we know our bodies well enough to just adjust that now. But when you're first beginning and you don't know how you're going to respond, just do a little bit. Drip feeding is what I like to talk about. And if you've got little people that you want to give this to, then that's okay as well. They can just have 1 or 2 drops if they have a drink bottle, or you can put it in cooking. This won't be affected by the heat. It doesn't change it. It's not a vitamin. It doesn't change form just by cooking. So you could put this, if you don't like the taste of it, then you could mix it in with other things that you cook with, and you won't taste it within that. So great way to be able to introduce some more minerals into your routine. And the key to what I recommend people in general is, what can you do to add things to your existing routine? Because for the most part, if you've got to change your routine too much, it's actually going to make your life harder, and it's going to give you more resistance. So what's something that you predictably do every day anyway? Do you have a water bottle that you top up at home and maybe take to work or school for kids or whatever? Put it in that. Is there some point when you're more likely to drink water? Put this in that. Again, you only need a little bit. More is not necessarily better, especially when you're beginning with it. So you can build up nice and slowly with that. Something else that you may catch me talking about quite regularly is the importance of the Adrenal cocktail. So I do get asked how I do it and what I do and that sort of thing. In our family, we do it as actually a vitamin C version. So all of the adults and the older kids, the twins, get one of these tablets. You can see they're a decent sized tablets, but we get one of those morning and evening. And what we actually do is, it's not 100% ideal by the recommendations of spreading things out and whatever, but for our family it works. We put our cups out in the morning and in the afternoon, and we put in some salts, which I'll talk about in a minute, to make the Adrenal cocktail. We take one of these and we have our mineral drops, and then they're all done. In an ideal world, we might space things out a little bit more. There might be different timing that we do, but for us, this works. And so I really go off a good, better, best. And if I get this into my family morning and early evening, then that's better than them not having it at all. So if you're someone that's read the instruction manual for the root cause protocol, then you might look at it and go, how am I going to fit all of this in? Just slot it in with what works for your family. So this is a whole food, oops, there's the front label. It's called Innate Response Whole Food Vitamin C. So it's a food-based vitamin C, not the bright orange ascorbic acid tablets that you get from the chemist or from the supermarket. And it's going to help your bioavailable copper to work. And that's a big fancy word for something that activates a lot of pathways in your body, something very important. So even if you're not familiar with that just yet, keep an eye out on my posts and you'll learn more about that, and look through my past posts to learn more as well. So what I do is that. But if you're just starting out and you want to know what on earth is this Adrenal cocktail thing, firstly, I've got more in-depth videos, but for now I'll give you a bit of a summary version. It's using half a cup of orange juice, or this is quite a decent sized orange. It's probably one or one and a bit of these. It's only a small amount of orange juice in the end. Half a cup of fresh orange juice, a quarter of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and then a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. And that's the base recipe for an Adrenal cocktail, and nice and easy to begin with. But if you want alternatives where you don't have to worry about orange juice, then you can do it with other options. So especially for those who are more familiar with it, maybe the other versions are good. I also have an all-in-one product where you can just take a capsule and you don't have to think about mixing anything up. I have that available in my shop. Or if you're, again, in another country other than Australia, please feel free to let me know where you are and I can direct you to some other products that might help. So if you've got any questions, I can see there's a few people live with me at the moment. Please feel free to drop them as a comment while I'm here. Or if you're watching this as a replay, let me know that you've popped by as a replay and any questions that you may have. I'm here to help people connect with what do minerals do in my body? I don't even know what a mineral is when it comes to my body. Is pretty similar to what most people begin this journey with. And you know that your body's made up of building blocks and bits and pieces, and you try and eat as well as you can, but maybe it's just not a priority, and that's all right. But I'm here to help you understand why it might be worth being a priority. So little videos like this are here to help you. Anyone, generally speaking, should be able to start the mineral drops or the Adrenal cocktails. If you're not sure whether it's okay, don't be afraid to talk to your physician, talk to a pharmacist, especially if you're on medications. but generally speaking, they're food-based and should be good to go for anyone to give it a try. And you'd be surprised how much more energy you will more than likely have by introducing these things. And keep it simple. What's easy to integrate into your diet right now or into your routine? All right, well, I've loved having a little bit of a chat. If you come back and watch this as a replay, please feel free to hashtag replay or let me know where you've come from. Look forward to hearing any other questions that come up, or is there another video that you would like me to do? I can do that for you. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll talk to you later.